Hi everyone, this is Kaya. I just wanted to do a short video, honestly, to process something out loud. And take these off. Really can't stand glasses, but I can't see well without them. Anyway, I recorded a video earlier that I can't use because I didn't realize I had a speaker on in the background that was a Bluetooth speaker, and it was playing out and reverberating back and forth between the video or the desktop that was recording the video. And so there's an echo in the background the entire time. But as I was sitting there doing that, I was basically just processing something out loud. It had been a really hard day, and I was just thinking about the path to wholeness, and I'm not going to get back into all of what I was saying on that. But as I was processing that, I thought about something that I think is a really big deal. I was thinking about um, how Yeshua, Jesus, never put this in the other way. He was always present, present to himself, present to others, present to God. And I was thinking about what sin does, because everyone always focuses on Jesus was sinless, which obviously is true. But I don't think that the issue of that is he did not have bad behavior. He didn't go murder anyone. He didn't, sleep with somebody. He didn't do whatever your mind is with a list of sins. I think about sin one day. I'm praying for God to give me a deeper revelation on this, because I think the teaching and the concept of sin is so surface, and I really think we're missing something really profound, um, because I think we focus a lot on bad behaviors. And although that is true, I believe that maybe there's a deeper thing with sin, because ultimately what sin does, regardless of what behaviors manifest in sin, what it ultimately does is separate us from God, so that we cannot have access fully to Him. And if you think about it, Yeshua walking on this planet without sinning meant that he was completely connected and present to the Father, fully to himself, and fully to others. Because when we are separated, or when there's sin inside of us, or sometimes even the effects of sin, even if we're not actively sinning, it produces something in us where we live separated from ourselves, separated from God, separated from one another. So we are never, we're not fully alive. We're not fully connected. We're not living out of the fullness of what we're created to live, because we can't when we're separated. And anyway, I was talking to a friend today, because a big part of my heart in the last couple of years has been a focus on leaving the world of survival and the restoration of the relational existence that God created us for. And so I don't know. I don't know why I think this is such a big deal. And I think, but I do. I think that there's something to the fact that Jesus not sinning we need to go deeper. It's not just that he did not do bad behavior. It's that his lack of sinning meant that he was constantly connected and present to his true self, to the Father, and to others. And that's the path. When I think about all of the divisions and how sin separates and how ultimately the enemy's role is to accuse and divide. And I look at this and thinking, the divisions aren't just with one another, which are clear to see in the world, especially, I mean, all over the world, but definitely in the United States right now, that these divisions are very easy to see. But the divisions aren't just with each other, the divisions are with ourselves. Like when we're not fully connected to ourself, to our true authentic DNA, when we have not come under the blood, whether it be the blood of Yeshua, our Messiah, or the Jews, when they were able to sacrifice a lamb, came under the fullness. That lamb did provide, sacrifices provided atonement. So atonement, whether it was then, which Jews are not able to do now, or Jews who know the Messiah, or Gentiles who know the Messiah, Yeshua, that atonement has dealt with sin. We are no longer viewed through the lens of sin. We are no longer sinners by nature because we have a new nature. We have a new nature. And but even with that new nature, we can choose to sin. And so I guess part of what I'm thinking about, I know I probably seem like I'm rambling, but the path that we have the ability to walk through the power of the Holy Spirit is a path that is lived relationally, where there is an opportunity to step into true intimacy and connection with the creator of this universe, with our Messiah, Yeshua, with Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit that has been, that is accessible here on this planet. And by the power of that relationship and that intimacy and that connection, it has the capacity and the ability to work in us a connection with our beings, our own true, authentic DNA beings, where we are no longer separated, where we're not resisting a part of ourselves or not liking a part of ourselves or trying to be better and away from a part of ourselves, where we're not putting on good behavior just so that we are like putting on new clothes, but the self is still the same. But it actually provides for the capacity for us to connect to the self as it is and then be transformed by that love from glory unto glory unto glory, so that we can walk in more and more and more fullness of love within who we truly are. So we can walk out of our authentic DNA. We don't have to leave ourself because we think it's bad and then become somebody other than ourselves. We actually become who we've always been created to be, and all that is not love begins to be removed from us, both inside of us and outside of us, in our actions and our beings. So we're no longer separated from ourselves either. So then when we begin to walk in this authentic, true self, and when or if we happen to see a part of ourselves that's like, that's not good, instead of like going, get away, I don't want you, I hate you, or shame or guilt or whatever, it's being able to go, okay, Ruach HaKodesh, okay, Holy Spirit, I don't want this in me. This is here. Come, partner with me, enable me to walk in love here. And then he begins out of relationship to begin to transform us. So I say that because we're called, not only called to, we have the ability to walk as Yeshua walked. We have the ability to walk on this planet in the fullness of connection, because when we are not separated from holiness and from God's love because of sin, which we aren't when we are in Yeshua, because of what he did on the cross with his blood, once and for all. But that's accessed by faith. That's not like a magic potion where you just say the words and poof, it happens. That's a door. That's a way to something. When they said that Jesus is the way, that's not a destination. That's a door to something. So Jesus is the door that opens for us to walk through so that we can access the fullness of life that God desires for us. So although that is true, that when we walk through that door by faith, we are no longer under sin. This can be true, and we can have the ability to not be accessing it because we're not walking in it. We're not going through that door. Our faith is not there. We might step back into performance or perfection, or we may, we can do that if we can do that if we want. And honestly, we do. Most of us do. I think that's where the Holy Spirit comes, because he's committed and faithful to us, where he partners with us to move us from glory into glory into glory, where we're more and more and more of who we are truly created to be. So I bring this up because I just thought it was interesting, and I had never really thought of the fact that Jesus never lived separated from himself, from us, or from God, because he was not in sin. So I don't know. I just thought I would bring that up so people can get past the thought of he never did bad behavior, because I think it's way more than that. It's that because he never sinned, he never broke intimacy. He never broke relational connection within himself, or within his relationship with the Father, or in his relationship with anyone he came in contact with. So anyway, that's my thought of the day. I don't know where I'm going to go with it, but I think it's significant. I would love to hear your comments. Okay, I have to put my glasses on so I can see where to stop this. Okay, have a great day.